Greetings and salutations, my dear audience. This is Joe St. Egg Benedictus coming at you with a Bible review. Before I get into it, or an interesting Bible review, I should say. Before I get into it, I want to give a shout out to my pal Mike, to all the visionaries and the mystics and the visionaries out there. I'm losing my touch, gang. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what's happening here. This is like my second try in a video. I already screwed up the first one, so I'm just not in a good mood. I'm going to have to get Uncle Nicky out if this keeps going. Anyway, have to hold the camera. That's part of the problem, because here's my rig, and the Bible I'm going to show you just is too big for me to put in the rig, so I have to like hand hold it. But the Bible we are reviewing today is this big honking thing. The Interlinear Bible, Hebrew, Greek, and English. Picked this up at the used bookstore for a great price, about $15. And one of the reasons why I did get it was because I do not have a Hebrew-English Interlinear Bible. I do have a Greek-English one, but always wanted the Hebrew and English, just never found one until today at the used bookstore. Let me show you the spine on this thing. It's huge. Weighs like 10 pounds at least. So you have these, I don't know if they're like Pentecost trees or the Tree of Life or what, by Hendrickson publisher. It's very old, so it has... These are more stains, more so than anything else, but what it does have, get that off my finger, are these indexes, which is really convenient, I think. And it has, and I think it's indexes that came with the Bible, because not only do they have the biblical books, but they also have, like, the general articles, and then if you look way in the back, it has the helps. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, and yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, so let's jump into it. First of all, you can see it's all stand up. It's pretty old. All right, go to the copyright page, just to give you the copyright. Hendrickson publisher. Okay, Strong's Concordance numbers there. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so the copyright is 1985. You can see it originally copyrighted in 1976. Goes all the way to 84, and this one is 85. Table of contents, and right after the table of contents, just for convenience, you have the alphabet. First the Hebrew alphabet, and then the Greek alphabet, which I think is convenient because if you're struggling, like I'm not so good with Hebrew alphabet, I'm a little out of practice. It's been, golly, 15 years, so I always have to like go back to the alphabet, and it's pretty good. You have the preface here, then you just jump right into it. Part 1, the Old Testament, and there you have it. This is double column, as you can see. You have the interlinear text and then a literal version on the side, and of course for Hebrew you read from right to left. So, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and the earth was without form and empty, and darkness on the face of the deep. The Spirit of God moved gently on the face of the waters. Now, let me show you the Greek. I showed you the Hebrew. Still in the Hebrew here. Hosea. It's weird. Book of Hosea. All right. Let's see here. Did I do that for everything? Okay. So here's the second part with the Greek English. Now this I do have, but now that it's in a little convenient copy, I can use this and go from there. So the title is in Greek, okay, Evangelion Kata Mathion, okay. It's good news according to Matthew. And then you have, again, like the Hebrew, except it's from left to right, you have the Greek, the English, and then the English translation on the side. So, Biblios, the book, Genesteos, of generations. So it's generations. Jesu, Christu, Jesus Christ, the Son, David, son of Abraham, Genesi, fathered, or, so it's the same word as Genesos, fathered, who fathered Isaac. Isaac, who fathered Jacob. So on and so forth. So for $15, you get the Masoretic text and the Textus Receptus, or whatever this is. And I'm having trouble with the focus. I'm having a lot of trouble these days. I am not in a good mood. I'm not very happy today. I'm having trouble with focus. I'm having trouble with my rig. This book is too big, but it's pretty awesome. And for $15, you can't beat it. Just love how it works. Love how it looks. You need a magnifying glass really to see it, but I'm glad the camera can pick it up pretty good. It is really small though. I mean, this is has to be, golly, 6-point font maybe, 8-point font. It looks bigger on camera, but it's a really struggle to see. I need a magnifying glass, but it's pretty cool. So I'm glad to have it. It's going to be a great resource for my sermons. Like for instance, this Sunday I'm doing Genesis 1, Genesis 2 and 3 with the fall, or that would be 3 and 4. In Genesis 3, interestingly, 3:16, when it says that when God punishes the woman, it says that he said the woman will greatly, your toil will greatly increase, and you shall desire your husband. And this desire is like a conquest, but if you look at the Hebrew, which is tashakadim, or tashakadim, or shakadu, I'm not sure, shakadu. If you look at that Hebrew word, which is desire, and you go to Genesis 4, verse 6, when God tells Cain, gives a warning to Cain, he says, if you do well, you will do well, but beware, for sin is crouching toward you, and its desire is to rule you. So that same word, shaka something, the same root word, desire, shall rule you, is again, God warns Cain that he has to be careful because sin is always trying to desire to rule him, just like the woman desires the man, and the man shall rule her, but it's a desire as in conquest, which is shows kind of a disparity in the relationship, or a chasm, or a breakdown in the relationship. But it's cool that you have the same root word for desire in 3. That's 3 Genesis 4:7 and 3:16. Now what this is good for is it'll catch you, because if you read the English translation of chapter 3, verse 6, okay, it says that the fruit was desirable to the eyes of the woman. Okay, so Eve, or the woman, saw the fruit and saw that it was desirable to the eyes. But this desire is not the same root word as the desire in 3:16, which is there, and 4:7. And I thought, because in English you have the same word desire in all 3 places, that it was the same word, but only these 2 share the same root word. This is a different word. So when I'm preaching it tomorrow, I won't make the mistake of saying that this word for desire it turns up in 3 places. That root word only turns up in 2 places to imply conquest, and this one is more like beauty, or more of an aesthetic, not necessarily pointing to that aesthetic, not necessarily conquest. So it was desirable to her eyes, and she took. That word took probably has more to do with conquest as well, because that's like the same word that is used in like David and Bathsheba, when David takes Bathsheba and so on. So the idea of taking something that is aesthetically pleasing is a little different than having a desire that implies martial, conjures some martial images. So, the Hebrew, Greek, and English stuff can really be helpful like that, so that if you're reading the English, you don't make the mistake of assuming things. And that's what really this kind of stuff is helpful for. But it still takes some work. Again, my Hebrew is rusty, but I can write the letters down. There's my comparison of 3:16. That's actually 3:6. not 316, 3 6, 316, and then 4 7. So, I can write it down and do that kind of stuff, and you can see that 316 and 4 6 share the same root there. Okay, those first three letters are the same, and then it departs with this next letter. So anyway, shows you a little bit how the work of sermons is done, and when you're not trying to at least have a fundamental understanding of Hebrew and Greek, how many mistakes can be made or assumptions can be made, and it's always good to just check your work. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and pray I have a better day.